right now on it. So, after Instagram updated the algorithm, I think within this past year, growth has been a lot harder and people are not able to grow as much. So I'm going to share with you some of the secrets to becoming an influencer, some of my background, and what I've done to build over 1 million followers on Instagram, and some of the things that you can take away as you're building an influence. Just curious, in the chat, can you guys type in what are you looking to build? Like, why do you want to build an influence? What do you guys want to be known as? Like, why did you hop on this call? Like, if you want to be an influencer, what niche do you want to be an influencer in? What are some of the things that you're looking forward to learning? Let me, if you can type that in the chat. Let's see. Oh wow, okay. So you want to raise awareness for the war in Armenia that started a month ago. So are you doing that? Are you already posting about that on your Instagram? Like, are you wondering how do I boost my engagement? What's your Instagram, by the way? If you want to type it in the chat real quick. Okay, Gore XXI. So yeah, at the end we'll do a Q&A. But first I'm just gonna go over some of the things can help you guys with. So Gore. So and some of the things that, I'm going to share some viral strategies too, some things that can help you go viral to get you more awareness about this topic. So anyone else want to share in the chat, like what you're looking forward to learning? Because then I could kind of focus my content around that too. So in the chat, if you guys are just open to learning, or is there a specific niche that you're trying to learn? Okay, growing Instagram and YouTube. How much of a YouTube video should I post on Instagram? I'm a therapist on the East Coast. I'm teaching about mental health awareness. I'm open to learning. Okay. Um, cool. Anyone else? Anyone else want to share like what you're looking forward to learning? What specifically you want to be an influencer in? I'm here to learn and get clients for photography and video work. Okay, cool. Um, all right, cool. Well, let me go ahead and get started. So I kind of have an idea. Everyone is kind of I mainly help personal brands, but the kind of content I'll share works for any brand. So let's go into. Oh, are you dry? Oh, are you drawing on the Grisha? I think you're draw. You made it so you could draw. I guess I made it so you can annotate. I don't know how to disable. Yeah, I gotta disable that. So I started IG to motivate myself or relearn concepts I've been learning. Okay, cool. Um, cool. Let me try this one last time, and then we'll get started. Grisha, his annotation. I don't know how you erase that. Grisha, how'd you? Let me get the eraser. Yeah, erase that. Cool, cool. Um, disable. Let me see. Why is this marker still? It's more people coming on. Let me see.
Yeah, so you kind of have to search for the invite to the Zoom.
Oh, really? What was it hard to find, or what happened?
So what I do is I go to my email, and then I search up Ray, and then I see Social Ray, and I click on the latest email that you had sent.
Oh, when was the last email you got for this notification though? Was it like 10 minutes ago?
I believe it was the day I signed up. So we'll make it more fluid by setting like a scheduled email, right?
Yeah.
Like an hour before.
Yeah, I thought it did that. I guess it didn't. So yeah, I'll have to if you guys know about that, hit me up. But let me go ahead and start start sharing. So this
I'm excited.
Yeah, so mute yourself. We're a social media company. We have a wide range of clients from athletes to artists. It's many helpful tips. Okay, for sure. Cool. So let's go. So these are, this is the 3 secrets to becoming an influencer in 2020. And I have a podcast as well as an agency where I help people grow their personal brand and their accounts. So, some things you guys will be learning at the end of this session. You'll learn how to create the vision for your Instagram to attract the right type of followers to your page, increase engagement on your posts, and understand some of the insider secrets and tricks that influencers use to grow today. At the end, if you stay till the end, you'll get a free bonus that can help you boost your engagement and also a secret to growing 10,000 followers in the next 90 days. Let me see. And some background about me, like why you should listen to me. I mean, obviously, you guys found out from social media, but I come from a background of studying human biology at BAYERLE University, but I left that route, the traditional route of studying medicine, and becoming a doctor to study social media, online business, and building an online presence. And since then, I've invested tens of thousands of dollars into my learning mentors, and I've personally spent years on Instagram learning the platform, learning what goes viral, learning how things work. And so, yeah, since that time, I've built over 1 million followers. I've built 10 million network. It's actually bigger than that to grow accounts. And a lot of them are in entrepreneurship niche, gaming niche, meme niche. Those are the niches. I also have a podcast where I interviewed and work with many high level entrepreneurs, influencers, and they've used social media successfully to build their brand and business. You can find it on iTunes, um, on Stitcher, on Spotify. So I have a podcast where people share how they use social media to grow their influence and their impact. And these are some of the people I've been blessed to be able to meet and interview. Cole Hatter, who's the founder of Thrive Conference, a big entrepreneur conference. Randall Pitch, who runs an international fitness apparel brand called Live Fit Apparel. And Joel Brown, who's the founder of Addicted to Success, the number one motivation website. And they have, millions of downloads. And he's also in the new Think and Grow Rich movie.
I actually seen that. It's really good.
Oh, the thinking, yeah. But just mute yourself to the Q&A part, like, because at the end. And so the accounts that I've grown are tattoos.art. This is a tattoo page. I grew to 900K plus. My personal, I grew to 80,000. And so I grew it using viral content and shoutouts. And so you're going to learn some of the strategies that I've used and some examples that have helped me to do this. And I've also taught in Ty Lopez's SMMA program, and I've grown pages over the years in like motivation, tech, travel, fashion, luxury, entrepreneurship. And so, because of my experience in this field, Ty's team wanted me to teach, and so you can see a picture of me, kind of giving info, teaching people on what I know on Instagram. I've also been featured on publications without a business degree. Obviously, I told you guys I have a human bio degree, but I've been able to be featured on Future Sharks, Yahoo Finance, and there are ways to get featured, if you have the right connections. And so, you're in the right place if you want to pursue your passion and you want to build your dream career using social media. If you want to get more clients using social media successfully, and if you feel stuck and lost, not knowing how to go about your Instagram strategy for growth and engagement, you're also in the right place if you want to make a big difference in the world, but you don't know how to get your message out there in an effective and engaging way. And you're also in the right place if you want to start networking with other entrepreneurs and build your online business using social media. And this is a quote I'm just putting in by Steve Jobs, importance of loving what you do, because this is a big reason why I left studying medicine to pursue the work I'm doing now, which is social media work and growing influencers, and not just any influencer, but influencers who have a good message, who want to make an impact in the world and actually make a difference. And so he says, your work is going to fill a large part of your life. And the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. And, obviously, you guys know Steve Jobs. He used to get, he used to be really broken, get free food from like Hindu temples, I think. And during that time, he was figuring out, what do I want to do with my life? What do I want to create? And he also said, um, when you realize that this world is made by people who are not smarter than you, they're not smarter than you. They just took action on their dreams and their goals, and they created, life changing, products and companies. And so this is the same for you, same for me. There's a vision and a dream inside of you, and you're just wanting to realize that using social media, and that's just a tool to get there. And so, um, So some problems to be solved are: how do I create engaging content and share my story? How can I effectively communicate and get people to engage with my posts? Some other problems you might have are, how do I overcome my fear of sharing my knowledge online and getting people to listen to me? And some other problems are: how can I grow my following with real followers? And how do I use social media to network with other amazing entrepreneurs and influencers in my niche? And what happens if you don't fix these problems? You're going to stay stagnant on social media without growing your followers or your income. You're going to continue to lose followers and engagement, because we all know it's a pay to play, model now, just like Facebook. If you're not paying to get reach on your posts, Instagram is going to reduce it. And if you're not paying to get your ads seen or people to see your content, you're not going to get noticed. And you're also going to be left behind the competition growing ahead of you on Instagram. I'm sure that's why a lot of you guys are here. You're like, how are these people growing? Whereas I'm just stuck, or I'm losing followers, right? Even though I'm posting every day, I'm not getting followers. And that's because, well, I'll explain that later. And also, if you don't learn how to use social media, you're not going to be fulfilling your purpose, your calling in life, and you're not going to have the influence, impact, and income that you desire. So to give you guys a little background about me, this is my story. I used to be in student loan debt, broke, obviously, after college, depressed, and living with my, single dad in a mobile home, or we used to live in a mobile home. And I was a shy Asian kid struggling with social anxiety. And to be honest, I didn't like posting on social media. To be this picture, my friend took. He took of me at school. And I don't like taking selfies. I'm not the type of person who likes putting selfies on Instagram, which people think, man, if I'm not putting selfies, how am I going to grow, right? But um I didn't like putting myself out there. I guess I was more introverted, but over time, through podcasting, meeting people, I developed more of that extroverted side. And I used to, make burritos for people and wash dishes at my school cafe, making minimum wage, and tutored math for high schoolers, trading my time for money. And so at that time, I had no followers, no network, no valuable skills, but I knew that I wanted more with my life. I knew that I wanted to do great things with my life. I just didn't know what. And in 2016, I left medical school, or chiropractic school. I left studying pre-med and took a chance on myself to venture into social media and entrepreneurship. And so this was a huge risk I took, because there was no guarantee at that time Instagram was going to blow up. There is no guarantee that social media was going to be a thing. And I think Facebook was just starting to blow up at that time. This was before Facebook acquired Instagram as well. So, this was a time when I was just like, I want to figure out how to make money online, using the internet. And that's what I started learning how to do, by getting into social media. Why I got into social media, I needed to increase my value, right? If I wanted to get paid for my services. So I started learning how to grow accounts on Instagram, go viral, make money using social media. I built a podcast interviewing top level entrepreneurs, influencers, and CEOs. And I wanted to build an influence. I wanted to make a positive change and dent in this universe with my life, instead of doing something I didn't have a passion for. I didn't want to just go to a 9 to 5, go to an office job and do something that I didn't really like to do just for a paycheck, just so that I could, eat food or pay for groceries or pay rent, right? And so um, I also wondered, why are some people famous on social media when they aren't spreading a good influence? And you look on social media and you see people who are stealing stuff from people. I saw this one account. This guy would just steal, products from stores, and he would record it, and he would just, promote that, and people, young kids would see that and love it. And he had 1 million followers and a lot of attention on that. When I was like, that's such a stupid thing to get famous for. And it's like, you're not really spreading any, you're not providing any value, right? You're just kind of posting stupid stuff, and people are following because of that. But the people who have a good message, the people who have actually something worth sharing that could change your life and could make it better, they were the ones who were not on the spotlight, and they didn't have the influence, right? And so I like this quote. It says, not everyone great is famous, and not everyone famous is great. And that's true on social media. So I want you to ask yourself, why do you want to build an influence and following on social media, right? Is it just for more income, clout, or to boost your ego? Or is it just to feel more special than other people? Or do you have like a burning desire and a mission that you want to change the world and impact the lives of those around you, right? And I start with this because you have to start with your intention and you have to get down to why you want to build an influence, right? Because some people, they have money, they just throw money at social media, but it's not really something that they see as a way to make an impact, and they don't have a strong why. If you don't have a strong why, you're going to give up. You're going to stop posting content, and you're not going to really, you know, you're not going to have yourself invested into it. You're not gonna have skin in the game, right? Because it's just another platform to grow, and it's just another platform to work on. And so if that's you, and you're just someone who just wants to throw money at it, um, that's, I mean, you might get somewhat far with it, but I don't think you'll really make a big impact if that's where you're starting from. And so you got to ask yourself, like, do I want more with my life, right? I think that's where it really starts. And some of the doubts and fears, that I had, starting this was, what if I don't like posting about myself and putting my face out there? Nobody knows who I am. Why should they care? Why should anyone listen to me and follow me? And how can I stand out in this competitive social media market? Am I too late to the game, especially now because Instagram is, well known. A lot of people want to grow it. And at the end of the day, will my voice even matter in such a saturated space? And how can I get the engagement and followers for people to hear what I have to say? Right. And so, like I said, I had the same doubts and fears, but I took a risk and a chance on myself to leave studying medicine, because if I never took that chance, I would have never built the following or network that I have today. And you need to think about what really matters to you and what difference do you want to make with your life, right? And if your message and your why is big enough for you to put yourself on social media. Like I said, I didn't want to put myself on social media, but I realized if I don't, then there are other people who are doing that, and they're the ones influencing people. They're the ones, kind of controlling how things are going to happen. And so, we need more people who are good influencers to share their message, and they need to learn how to use social media to spread that message. And so, I had a lot of fear and uncertainty, going into this, especially because I'm a human bio major. I'm not a business guy. I didn't learn sales. I didn't learn marketing, but I put myself out there to learn, right? And so if you're not having a willingness to learn, then you're already, disqualified from even participating in the game. And so, obviously, those of you guys here watching, you guys are open to learning. But I want you guys to ask yourself, you might have the same doubts and fears, but is your message and your why um, big enough for you to keep posting onto social media, right? Not just, man, I just want to just get more clients, which is cool, but you're going to be the same as everyone else. If your only mission is, I just want more clients, just people to notice me, you're the same as any other person who has an agency. So think about your why, think about your mission, your message, and start from there. So, like I said, without a strong enough why for building your influence, you'll give up quickly, and you're gonna find that building influence takes time. You need a strong why to keep building a following, and why do you want to be an influencer? Is what you have to share something this world needs, or is it just just something that anyone else can do as well? So for me, my why was to motivate and inspire people to be their best self, um, and actually to be an example for my family, for those around me, to not let my past of living in a mobile home and struggling with bills, define my family or my future, and to make money online using social media instead of going to a 9 to 5. I wanted to find a way to use the power of the internet to make money. I'm sure you guys do too during this pandemic, and to leave a legacy and fulfill my purpose on earth before I die. And so, I want to ask you, is this you? Have you ever felt like you wanted to do something impactful, but you're not quite sure how to do that? Or do you have a message that needs to be shared with this world, and you want more with your life? And do you want to build a profitable online business using social media, sharing your gifts and knowledge? And do you want to leave a legacy, right? Do you want to fulfill your purpose on it? Do you want to live in a life in flow with what you're called to do, right? And so, the people I'm speaking to are those who, have a mission, right? Who have a vision and a mission, and it's not just it's a short term game. It's like you have a mission that you want to achieve, and you want to use social media to do that. This is who I'm talking to. And so, if you answered yes, then here's secret number one. Right? You got to identify your vision. To attract the right followers to your page, you need to identify the vision you have for your Instagram page. And who do you want to be known as online and offline? And what are the unique gifts, content, and knowledge that you can share with your audience? Out of all the influencers online, what makes you special, unique, and what can you share with others? And so, if you don't have like a clear vision for what you want to do, what you want to be about, help people with, it's really hard for people to know, like, why should I follow you, right? There's tons of people who have marketing agencies, tons of people who have, probably offering the same service you do. But if there's no vision or like story to what you're doing, then it's going to be hard to attract the right people to your page. And so, what I want you guys to do is, identify that vision, identify what is that vision you have for your Instagram, what kind of people you want to talk to, because that's going to help you create content for your page, and everything's going to center around that vision. So, one way you could identify vision, use your bio. So, your bio is a way for people to know who you are, what you have to offer, how people can identify you. So, Nick, one of my clients and friends, he basically, this is his template. He uses an emoji and, CEO of Billion Dollar Body, top ranked podcast, notable features, and then free lead magnet, right? So this is an example of a bio you can copy, where it's kind of like, who are you the CEO of, or like what's your business, or what is it that you do? What's your podcast? Where were you featured? And then do you have a free lead magnet where people can opt into your emails or something like that to your bio. And your bio should attract your ideal audience. For me, I have a podcast. I'm a host of a podcast featured on Yahoo Finance and more. Ty Lopez, instructor. So it kind of gives you guys an idea of like, who is this person? What have they done? So for you, your bio, you might want to restructure it, have like an emoji and a short little description of who you are, what you've accomplished, so people know, what you have to offer. DM Girl for Growth, I kind of changed that, but yeah, and then you have your links. You want to make sure you have your website link in your bio, because I see some people not utilize that, and that's like real estate, right? There's only one hyperlink that you could use, and so I use a link tree. I'm sure a lot of you guys do, which can host multiple links in one for that. And your vision is your content, right? Your content should reflect your vision. It should be unique, interesting, create conversation around what you want to be known about. And the more interesting about your content, the more people will engage with your posts. And remember that your content needs to revolve around the vision of who you want to be known for online, whether it's you or your business, and who you want to impact, what message you want to share, and how your content can impact someone's life. And a lot of people, they just post selfies of themselves or people that they know, but unless you're posting things that gives value, like information, motivation, humor, it's going to be hard for people to stay as stay as a follower, because they don't, if you're just posting pictures of yourself and of you, they don't know who you are, and they don't care unless you show them, hey, I'm giving you this kind of information, so you should follow me, right? And so, also a good Instagram page, it has a variety of different types of content. I wouldn't be stuck to just one type of content, but I'd play around with it and post different types of content to see what works. These are examples of good content, I would say. So Chris and Eric Martinez, they have they're online fitness coaches, and they help people to build an online fitness coaching program, even if they did one-on-one trainings, right? And so this is a three-column pattern strategy, where they basically do one column quotes, one column videos, one column just images, and then another one is Nicholas's, right? He doesn't have that three-column pattern strategy, but he has a general theme. He has color coding. He has gold and white as the main um, colors for his brand, and so you can see that there's like consistency, right, with his feed, which is good. And you don't need a perfect plan. Honestly, sometimes you just need to make content, post, test, repeat, get started, and make sure each post provides value. It helps people know who you are, what you're about, and you could always archive and delete the ones that didn't perform well as well. And so, at the end of the day, what is your vision for the world that you can create and influence using social media? So I want to share with you guys a story of Nick. Um, so Nick, when I first met him, he was kind of lost on his content strategy. He was, you could see from his before content that it was just like I said, just selfies, pictures of him, and it wouldn't be getting much engagement and reach because no one knows him and they don't care because they don't know what he has to offer, right? And so, after working with him, he posted more graphics, more things that are about entrepreneurship, more viral content, pictures with Russell Brunson, who's the owner of ClickFunnels. And so, I started helping him think about different strategies, different posting that can help him get more reach. And he started posting viral content as well that gets more reach on his posts too. See. And so secret number two, after your vision is identified and your bio and content is clear on what kind of vision you want to share with the world, then number two is increasing engagement, right? And so, what is the secret to increasing your engagement? It's creating viral, interactive posts that will generate comments and reactions, and call to actions in your posts to get people to comment on your posts. So, one thing you want to ask yourself: if this page wasn't my page, would I want to follow it? And if it's no, then you got to ask yourself, how can I stand out? How can I be unique? And how can I create content that gets people to follow me, right? Because there's tons of people trying to do what you're doing. So you got to find a way to stand out, be viral. And I'll show you guys some examples in a bit. So these are some examples of viral content. Obviously, the one on the far left is one of, two ladies in black and white where basically there are, one is eye catching, right? And that's why, Kaden, if you could mute yourself, I think, let's see. Yeah, and so this it's eye catching, and that's why it got over 2,000 likes and 160 comments. And this is a way for people to kind of know. It's like clickbait almost, right? It grabs your attention, and Instagram's very visual. So if you don't have something visual, then people are not gonna notice it, they're just gonna pass by. And then also the one in the middle about the watches, right? They say, pick a watch, and it has a call to action. Because it has a call to action in the caption, a lot of people commented on this post. And the last one is a repost that I did on my page, which got over 740,000 views and 600 comments. And I kind of plays off the trends of Black Lives Matter, which is going on. And I think a lot of people, it was shocking. So this is a repost. You can actually repost content onto your page, and that can help you to get more reach and get more people to notice your account as well. So, none of these posts, well, except the one in the middle, are ones that we made, but things like call to action, like in your caption saying, hey, go comment this, having something visually eye grabbing, obviously for Instagram that works. And it doesn't always have to be your content. People think, man, I have to post content of myself all the time, but that's not true. You could post, do reposts like what I did or Chris and Eric did, and that could lead to getting a lot more engagement too. And if you're worried about, is Instagram gonna, flag me, or are they gonna, basically ban my page? Um, you could always archive it or credit the owner, and that always helps to, that always helps. And yeah, it's not a big issue. Like things get reposted all the time, unless if it's something like copyrighted, right? And so you want to think about your niche as well, right? You want to research your niche, use hashtags, find viral content you can repost. Think of what content would create engagement, and research your niche, right? Think of what kind of posts will do well, right? If you're in fitness, look up fitness posts that go viral. If you're a coach, look up, business coaching videos that don't have went viral, like whether it's of Tony Robbins or other stuff like that. And think about what knowledge, skills, and gifts do you have to offer that you can share on social media. You could also build engagement groups. So with accounts similar to your niche, so you could form these engagement groups where you like and comment on each other's posts, and that helps you to increase that reach on your account. There's also underground Telegram groups where you can get more likes and comments as well. And a lot of these are just by invitation or by knowing the right people. You could also share your posts. You could, to get your post shared, you could get it shouted on other accounts or different Facebook groups. You also want to make sure that your post gets the most exposure as possible. So you could share it to your Facebook wall as well. So if you post on Instagram, there's a feature that you can share it to your Facebook, and that kind of helps you to get more reach on that post. And to get shout outs on other accounts, research pages in your niche, find out which ones would be a good fit to shout out your content. And you could basically pay those pages to shout out your page and to get more followers that way. Also use hashtags. I recommend using double worded hashtags like fitness trainer instead of just fitness. And there's an ebook that I have that, at the end, if you guys sign up, I can send it to you as well. But it's a hashtag strategy. So if you look at the bottom, for a post getting 0 to 500 likes, you want to, find hashtags that have around 1 to 5,000 uses of that hashtag, and find 4 hashtags that are around that post count, and then you could use that. For your post. So I guess I'll kind of give an. Let me see if I can give an example. So I'll give you guys an example. So you guys can obviously see my screen still. So no. So I want to look up um let me see, building. Let me see. So say like a hashtag you guys want so fitness trainer, like I said, right? So fitness trainer, you look it up. So it has 2 million posts, right? So you want to look for posts that have 1 to 5,000, uses, especially if you're only getting 0 to 500 likes on your average post. So this one, fitness trainer Dubai, that has only 2,400 posts, right? And then you see that it's a lot more niche down, so it's a lot easier to get noticed because there's not as much uses on that, right? And so that's something that I could recommend definitely doing is finding those post counts, finding how many hashtags around that range do I want, and then for each post posting 4 hashtags that are 1 to 5,000 uses, things like that. um let's see. And also, geolocation. If you geotag your post, that can help. that, can you mute yourself? um if you use geotag, that can help increase the chances of your post getting seen by more people. So geotagging is another thing that you could do for your Instagram to get more reach. Let me see. This is the example that I showed you guys of a post that went viral. So this got 740,000 views, and it's still getting like engagement to this day. And the way that this works is because it creates a lot of comments, right? You want to post content that will generate a lot of comments and that are sometimes polarizing, right? One of my Nicholas posted something about Donald Trump and who he voted for, and that got like, I'll show you guys right now. So that got back then he wasn't getting as much good engagement, but that got 460 comments and 1,600 likes, which are a lot than normal that he usually gets, right? And so, using that method, of creating posts that are polarizing, that create a lot of engagement, that can get you a lot more exposure on your posts as well. Um, so creating polarizing posts, obviously you don't want to do that every single time, because then that's just going to lead to just you're just going to be known as like the controversial guy. So hey, what's up, Han? If you could just mute yourself, I'm just going to be sharing right now. What else? So let me go ahead and and this is another example that is a piece of art content. It's basically a post that I saw did well. I reposted it, and then if you check the insights, 50% weren't following me, and the reason that this did well was because it was it stands out. It's like a clear picture, and the white and the blue kind of contrast each other as well, and it's very visual. So that one did well as well. And also I used some engagement groups to boost it, which are basically getting other accounts to like and boost your post. And secret number 3, to growing your influence, are using giveaways and shout outs. So, with the algorithm changing, it's harder than ever to grow, but there's still people growing, and that's because they're connected to a network of accounts that shout them out or are involved in giveaways. Also, going viral can help grow your account, but not nearly as much as it did before. So I used to gain like thousands of followers from one post that got like over 1 million views. But now, you need a network to grow you and to increase your following. What is a network? A network is a group of pages that shout you out either using your content or their own content so that you can grow followers. And it consists of pages in just one niche or a variety of niches. For example, I have a network of business motivation accounts that I can grow entrepreneurs with, as well as meme, gaming, generic theme pages that we just grow just real US followers with for people. So it helps so that you just keep on growing with a real audience. And this is kind of how Gary Vee, Ty Lopez grew so quick. They use a lot of these meme pages to grow because they were just focused on growing. And then now, since they have such a big influence, people listen to them, right? So a lot of people, they're kind of like, hey, I just want targeted followers, which we could do that too. But if you're not growing um, that influence, it's, people listen to you if you have more followers. And that's just kind of how things are now. So it's good to grow, even if they're not your target audience, to grow with real people because these kids and these audiences that you're growing with, they're going to be the ones engaging with you. Like the post you saw for Nicholas that got 400 comments, those weren't all business people. They were just regular people, kids, teenagers. Some were business owners, but if you don't have that following of real people, they're not going to be there to engage with your post. So that's what you need to do. Have a real following, even if they're not super targeted. At least they're going to engage with you. And what is a shout out? So a shout out is when an account posts a piece of content that tells people to go follow you. You can DM or email pages. Some of them have emails on their bio telling you how much they could sell a shout out for. And cost of shout outs vary, but to give you an idea, $1,500 is enough to get on a 2.5 mil network in the in the entrepreneur niche. And every niche has like different pricing. Every page has a different price. So it really depends on like you're reaching out to them, asking them how much is it to pay for a shout out. And yeah, that's kind of what you have to offer. This is an example of a shout out that we did for Nicholas. And so, so he kind of shares his story of how he used to be a broke carpet cleaner and now he's a seven-figure entrepreneur. He at 16, he was 60 pounds overweight, failing in school, couldn't get a girl, and he lost the weight. He found the woman of his dreams, and then he started investing into mentors, masterminds, and now he's created a seven-figure business. And now he's on a mission to empower men to become three-dimensional, prospering in health, wealth, and relationships. And so, this is an example of a shout out that his team made, and then the caption kind of goes into detail talking about just how he was a top 30 under 30 influencer, things like that. So, to give people context of what it is that you do. This is another shout out example that we made for someone. Chris and Eric, like I told you, they're personal fitness trainers. So, someone graduated at 21 but waited 6 years to get a good job. Someone had no education but was a millionaire by 21. Someone got married at 20 but divorced 5 years later. Someone got married at 30 but found everlasting love. You're not late, you're not early, you're on time. And so we use like a different bunch of sets so that even the third one, it says type yes to affirm. And so, that gets people to engage. And the more people that engage, the more that your post is going to get seen. So, this is another shout out example that we did for an entrepreneur who we're helping grow on Instagram. And obviously, if you want to, build an influence, increase your income, impact influence, follow these people. These are kind of some of the strategies that you might see on Instagram and that we do for people. Yeah. And we also can do targeted niche growth. For example, you could search for hashtags and accounts in your niche that have your target audience, and you can manually like, follow, comment on their posts, right? And so, if you want to grow with, like, for example, just people in the beauty industry, then you got to find those influencers and start liking, engaging, following people like their followers so that they notice you, right? And so this is a method that you could use manually. Obviously, you can outsource this to people overseas or to our team. And doing this, consistently can get you anywhere from 500 to like thousands of followers a month. So if that's something that we offer. And so I want you guys to kind of pause and think about, what would life look like, right? What would life look like if you're able to learn how to use Instagram properly for your business? What if you're able to build a strong personal brand online? What if you're able to network with top level influencers and entrepreneurs? And what if you're able to learn the mindset, strategies, and skills to gain clarity and confidence with your social media? And so I'm going to be sharing with you guys a program that'll work even if you don't know how to go about your posting and your content strategy. You're not sure how to grow your following, and you're not sure what are the best practices for getting engagement on your posts, and you're not sure how to reach your ideal clients on social media or get them to notice you, or even if you don't have a good camera or equipment. And there's a story, right? Think and Grow Rich, 3 feet from gold. Basically, this is a story of these two miners, right? One, a young man who wanted to make a lot of money. He was mining away at a Colorado gold mine for months, and then he finally quit. And I'm sure that's how you guys feel on social media. You feel like quitting. You feel like, man, I've done everything. It's not working. But there's another guy who sought counsel, prior to resuming digging, and his engineer advised him that gold would be found just 3 feet from where the previous miner had stopped. And you know what? He was right. The first miner was literally 3 feet from striking gold, and he quit. And so I want to ask you guys, which one are you? Are you the one who feels like quitting right now, or are you the one who feels like I'm so close to using social media for my business? It's just there's a wall, and I want to break that wall. So this program that I'm going to share with you is perfect to help you break that wall and to start using it successfully. And there's some myth busting we got to do. You don't need to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to grow your followers on Instagram, like these big influencers like Gary Vee, Ty Lopez, Grant Cardone are doing. You don't even need to feel like you have to be majorly successful to build an online presence. Like I said, I grew an account to 80K now, 90K, and I wasn't featured back then. I just knew how to use Instagram, how to grow. And you don't need to spend countless hours and days learning tedious strategies that don't work on Instagram. And so, you don't need to be a social media expert. That's why I'm here, teaching you guys. And all you need is a willingness to learn and implement the strategies and tools that I'm going to share with you in this program called the Instagram Builders Program. So, are you ready to grow? So, if you're ready to grow, just type in the chat yes. Type in the chat yes if you're following along. If you've been listening, if things are making sense to you, just type yes in the chat. And also just type, what it is that what it is basically that maybe you're struggling with the most, based on what I've told you, kind of type in the chat, this is what really stood out to me. This is what I want to learn more about, because whatever that is, my program that I've built will help you do that. So this is a 9-step launch to building your online presence to stand out. First is identifying your vision, your why. 2 is finding accounts to emulate and copy after. 3 is, profile, your profile bio content. 4 is growth. 5 is engagement. What are ways to, use engagement, paid and organic, to grow your account? 6 is community. How do you build a community and network? 7 is building your offer and DMs, learning how to sell your offers through the DMs or through getting on a Zoom call like this. 8 is sales and practice. 9 is opportunities for PR and mindset if you want things like that. And so this is a 12-week coaching program that I'll be sharing with you guys. Basically, we go from identifying your vision to, like I said, finding, profiles to emulate, redesigning your bio, growing your account, finding engagement groups, networking, creating your offer, sales practice, and more. Even getting featured onto like Yahoo Finance and Future Sharks, even Forbes, things like that we could do. And the benefits of this 90-day coaching program that I'm about to launch in mid-November is you get a 10,000 follower growth guarantee or your money back, and you keep the knowledge that I shared with you. You get a private Facebook group to keep each other accountable. You also get insider tools and tricks to grow your account and boost your engagement. And you're going to have a digital presence built so that when people search for you, they know who you are, they know your social media profile. So you're not, when people are like, what's your Instagram? You're not like ashamed to kind of show them, hey, this is my Instagram. And you know, because nowadays people use your Instagram like a business card. They kind of judge you based on, you know, where you're at with your followers, how your content looks, and all that. So you're gonna have a strong digital presence where people can really see what you're about, and you can help other people and make money too. You know, this is a testimonial. I forgot to I think I forgot to share the audio, but basically, this is another one where Nick was kind of sharing about just how he was able to how I helped him after working together to grow and really build an influence where he didn't he was stuck, right? He was stuck, he didn't know what to do, and I kind of came in, gave him advice, helped him grow, and now he's, you know, at 70,000 followers, and people are noticing him. He has social prestige. So, you know, growing your followers is the benefit, you know, obviously isn't just, you know, I get more clients, but let me see. I don't think you guys can hear this.
Hey, I'm Nicholas Bailey,
Can
the
you guys
CEO
hear this
of the
or
Billion
no?
Dollar Brotherhood, the #1 men's only
I don't think you guys can hear that, right? Oh, you could hear that? So were you able to hear that? Okay, cool. Good. Let me just.
Hey, I'm Nicholas Bailey, the CEO of the Billion Dollar Brotherhood, the #1 men's only mastermind, and the only one on the planet that focuses on the 3 core dimensions: health, wealth, and relationships. I just want to create this video for my friend Raymond on. He's been helping my Instagram for I think about almost 2 years now. It's pretty wild now, our relationship, how it's cultivated. And I remember just a few years ago, I was speaking on stage at an event. It's about 4,500 people, and it was crazy the amount of investment and the connections that took to be able to get on that stage. I remember going out and connecting with people and just feeling like my social influence of what I'm doing and how I'm impacting people online is not reflecting what I'm doing from all of my hard work. I remember meeting with Raymond one day and I finally humbled myself. I remember a bunch of people, for years I was looking for how can I grow my reach? How can I grow my influence? How can I grow to be able to help more people? I'm putting out the content, it's changing people's lives. And if it was 10x or 100x or 10,000x, how much more impactful would that be? I remember after years of searching and thinking I could do it on my own and thinking I could try to like use the right hashtags and all these things, I finally humbled myself and I made the investment to be able to go out there and work with Ray. Though it wasn't a small investment, which I don't think it should be, it was a big investment. Where your money is, your heart is also. And I just all of a sudden saw our focus and energy go that way. It's so wild now. We're right around 70,000 followers, reaching hundreds of thousands of people every single week. And it's so interesting to see the hundreds and hundreds of comments come in and the amount of people that have now engaged with what we're doing. Not only that, I feel like our social presence is finally matching up with our message and the people that we can actually reach. So it's been awesome from one, actually having good engagement on a page. This isn't something that he's helped us build a bunch of fake followers that aren't actually engaging. But on top of that, it's been phenomenal for the prestige of the opportunities that it's brought our way as well. So one, his content strategies are absolutely phenomenal. I even just took notes on things he told me today, even years down the road, that I'm consistently learning for because he's a practitioner of what he teaches. And he's built millions of followers himself. On top of that, the doors that he's opened for us to be able to collaborate with other people so that we can actually exchange that followingship so that we can consistently reach more people. So if you're looking at what Raymond's doing, you want to grow your influence, grow your personal brand, grow on Instagram, grow that podcast, be able to grow that influence altogether and make a bigger impact in the world in a way that it actually grows your business, I recommend going 100% all in. Go ahead and make the investment. Again, there's nothing else. Like, I literally tried to do this for years and wasn't able to figure it out. And he was the one who was the expert that was able to crack the code. You may be an expert at what you do, and people trying to do it on their own are not doing that well either and probably should hire you. Same thing. You should go check out Raymond's stuff. Thanks, Ray.
So yeah, you know, so that's a testimony from Nick after working together. And so, you know, you guys have a choice now, right? I've shared all this information. You can continue to try to keep on figuring out Instagram on your own, stay at the same number of followers for years. You can continue to try to research online for yourself different strategies to grow, only to find yourself frustrated trying to do it on your own. And you can continue to try to share your message and story with the world, only to see that it barely gets any engagement or views. Um, and continue trying to get new clients but not have success due to not having a properly built online personal brand presence. So, you know, imagine, you know, just take some time to imagine, right? Like, what would it feel like if you didn't feel lost and confused anymore on what to do on Instagram? What would it feel like if you're able to get more reach on your posts, right? What would it feel like if you're not frustrated that, man, I'm posting but no one's seeing it, right? And I don't know the strategies to get more clients using social media. And so, you know, once you have that social credibility and status, people get to trust you, do business with you. And what would it feel like? You're not ashamed of sharing your Instagram with others. You know, you're not, you know, you're posting good content. You have a good intention and vision, but you're just not sure how to take it to the next level. And that's kind of where this comes in, right? So if you just were able to, you know, get the swipe up feature on your stories, would it be worth it? If you just were able to learn how to create engaging and viral content to attract people to your page, hear your message, would this program be worth it? And if you just were able to learn the insider strategies and tools to grow your following and engagement, would it be worth it? And if all you got was the ability to network with high level entrepreneurs, you know, CEOs, you know, multimillionaires, entrepreneurs, influencers, and to help you build your business online using social media, would that be worth it? And if that is, you know, just type yes in the chat again. Type yes and interact, so I know you guys are listening and online. And yeah, and maybe anything else that you know, stood out. So just type yes in the chat. Say yes, I agree with that. Or maybe if something was like, yeah, that part I really, you know, if one of these things stood out, just type that in the chat and be like, yeah, this part really spoke to me. And that's it would be worth it. Who is this? So if you could just mute yourself, Lati, whoever just came in, as I'm doing this one. So are you guys clear, right? Keep typing yes in the chat. Does this make sense to you? Like, is this something you're really committed to learning, or you're just dabbling in? You're just here on this webinar. I'm just going to learn what I can and do it on my own. You know, or are you willing to invest into yourself, your education, so you could take your business and online presence to the next level? So this is what Gary Vaynerchuk said on the Now of Instagram. Anybody right now who isn't spending a disproportional amount of time trying to figure out the hashtag culture, the Instagram ad product, organic Instagram posting, working with Instagram influencers is making a huge mistake to not set their business up properly in the 2018, 2019 world. We haven't even seen the real revenue coming from Instagram yet. It's a beast. It is the current social network. And as for someone, you know, spending a disproportionate amount of time, I've spent every single day on Instagram the past 5 years, right, learning this. And so what I'm offering to you guys is not, you know, it's not something you just take and you're like, I'm gonna learn this in a week or in a month. It's like these are things that I've learned over years and have, you know, shared a little bit of it. But if you're like, hey, I'm really, you know, clear, I want to commit to this, I want to learn this, then you know, the coaching program, like I said, which I'm going to share with you, and is limited, is going to be a good option for you. So, you know, there's limited spots, right? I'm not going to take everyone. There's 15 people on this call. If everyone were to apply, I wouldn't be able to take everyone in. So there is an application that you need to fill out. If you can you guys click this link? Type in the chat. I'm not sure if you can type. So can you guys type? You cannot. So if you click, I'll share with you guys. This is I'll type it here in the chat. So this is the application form if you guys are interested in this program that I just outlined to you, where you're gonna get, you know, not only 10,000 followers at the end of 90 days, but you're gonna learn the tools, the strategies. You're gonna learn how to grow your following, what tools to use. How do I get people to see my page? How do I go viral? Like I showed you how I did. And how do I network and learn from these high level entrepreneurs, influencers? If that's something that you're interested in, just fill out the application and I'll get back to you. And also, like I said, just stick to the end after this Q&A. I'll share with you guys a free tool to boost your engagement, even if you don't want to apply, you know, and, you know, even if you apply and you don't get accepted, like I'll still, you know, put you on a list where you can learn some of the strategies. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to host weekly classes, which I used to do like on Wednesdays. So even if this coaching program is just for those who are like, you know, I'm serious, I'm committed, I want to get the growth quick and the knowledge to grow my brand, to grow my business, my revenue, and get people, you know, as clients using social media, then that's for you. Or wanting to build your brand. But if you're just like, hey, I'm still dabbling, I'm not serious about it, I'm not committed, then you could just, you know, obviously sign up for my emails. But if this is something you've been looking to do for a while, then definitely sign up or fill out the application just so that I know, have an idea if that's something that you want to do. And so, you know, Warren Buffett says by far the best investment you can make is in yourself. and I've invested tens of thousands of dollars, like I said, for my coaching for what I know today, and I could share that with a fraction of the cost with my coaching. And so, yeah, that's that's it. And then we want to do a Q&A session right now where I kind of answer your guys' question. And yeah, let me know what questions you guys have.
I have a question. How do you get the swipe up feature?
So who's this talking? Let me see. Say that one more time.
How do you get the swipe up
Okay.
feature?
So you get the swipe up if you get after 10K followers, you get an option on the stories to swipe up. And so, you have to, grow past 10K to do that. And so, like I said, if you guys are interested in, if you're like my coaching program, I'm gonna take you from not knowing, where to go with your content to learning how to do it and grow 10K. But some people are just like, hey, I just want to grow to 10K. Then I have just a separate option where you just grow to 10K, where we just do the growth and fulfill that for you. But you get the swipe up after 10K, and also you could hyperlink to like your website or to a sign up link or something else, after 10K followers. So
And I have another too. What's the difference between IGTV and a highlight reel?
so an IGTV versus a highlight reel. Okay, cool. I'm glad you asked. So let me go ahead and I'm sharing my screen, but let me see. Oops. So I'll go ahead and show you right now. Um, this is what the coaching application looks like if you guys are curious, but let me see. And feel free, like after this call, you guys can book a one-on-one call too, even if you don't fill out the application. But you could just DM me. So like, yeah, I'm growing right now because of the giveaway. Gonna get to 100K soon. Let me see. So this is IGTV, right? The IGTVs are made to be longer than a minute, right? And then reels are made to be like only a couple seconds. Like it's not meant to be long at all. And so if you I haven't actually even done much reels, but like reels are like TikTok length. So I think they're like around, I don't want to say like 30 seconds, but like around there. And then the thing about reels, the reels can be used differently because you kind of stitch content together. IGTV is more like, think of that as like your YouTube videos you could put there, and then reels are just for like TikTok. So what you would do for TikTok is reels. What you would do for YouTube is IGTV. Instagram pretty much wants to just, or Facebook now, they just want to like dominate every social media platform. That's why they came out with stories. When Snapchat was blowing up, they came out with stories, right? To compete with Snapchat. When when IGTV came out, they're trying to compete with YouTube or like longer form content because they only let you do minute long videos. And now Reels is competing with TikTok because it's the same thing almost, but they just want people to stay on their platform instead of using other social media platforms. So like Instagram is like like assimilating all these types of content onto its platform so people can just use that. But like, TikTok, Snapchat, these are just different social media platforms that people are using. So unless like the only thing is like Twitter, right? Like Instagram doesn't have, it's not like Twitter where you just share news. But eventually if people, I mean, I don't think TikTok's gonna die unless if they don't innovate at all, right? And they don't differentiate themselves. Like even Snapchat, they almost died when Instagram came out with stories. They almost died, but they kind of got revived because they had enough funding and enough users at that point to battle back. And people use Snapchat for different reasons, right? People use Snapchat for like personal friends or private things. Instagram is more for like friends and sharing photos. TikTok is more for like quick content you just want to just waste time with. But Instagram is more like business oriented, and that's why they have like insights. That's why and it's a lot more advanced than these other platforms um, in terms like for business owners, right? They're gonna allow you to tag products on your post so that if you're an e-commerce brand, you could directly link people to your product page. So Instagram is the best suited, I would say, for business. TikTok, I know that they still I think you could do a hyperlink there, but Instagram I would say is the most dominant platform right now for building a brand and your business. So every platform like has their different features, but Instagram is kind of like they kind of combined it all, and that's I mean like and it's growing like really quick. You know, TikTok is too, but it's so yeah. Hopefully that answered your question.
Now, does this all teach on Instagram, or do you teach us tips if we sign up for like TikTok or Snapchat?
So I'm gonna have people who are basically if that's what you want to learn too, I'm gonna have growth strategies for TikTok too. And so yeah, we could cover all of that, but mainly Instagram just because that's the main thing for branding and for business, right? If you grow a big TikTok, you know, I mean, yeah, if you have like a million followers, yeah, companies will reach out, but your Instagram is more of like your business card. Like I said, when you go to business events, they don't say, "Hey, what's your TikTok?" They're like, "What's your Instagram?" And so that's like your business profile. It's like your portfolio, right? It's like your resume almost. And so if you don't have a good resume, people are like, "Well, why should I work with you?" Right? Like what makes you special? But if you're at like a 10K mark and you know what you're doing on Instagram, your content is on point, you're getting good engagement, then people are like, "Wow, this guy knows what he's doing. I want to work with him." You know, so Instagram is great for that and for clients, and that's why we're focusing on that. But if you're like, hey, I want to use TikTok, then yeah, we could pivot and teach a little on TikTok too. Yeah. So any other questions? You think you guys can unmute yourself now, whoever. Um so any testimonials, what have been your results cultivating income using IG? So I think you missed it because you joined a little late. I just had a testimonial from Nicholas Beerley, who is CEO of a company called the $1 Billion Brotherhood, and this is my personal, like, I've taught in Ty Lopez's program. I've been on Yahoo Finance, so I have results and I get results for people. If you're wondering, and if you don't know, you could just kind of just check my links in some of the articles on there. And what's my experience gaining revenue? I know a lot of people. So we helped him grow, like I said, from 5K to 70K. No, to be honest, like as leads come, when they see who you are, right? A lot of people are like, if I'm gonna invest, this much money, I need to get 2 times back. But it's like, if it was like that, everyone would be rich, right? If there was a method of being like, hey, I'm gonna put $1,000, I'm gonna get 3,000, that's like you're just printing money. But when you're building your brand, you're not just building like a way to get leads and lead generation, you're building your brand. You're building your social status, your social credibility. So like when other people are like, hey, why should I work with you? And you're like, hey, look I have 10,000 followers, I have 80,000 followers. They're like, oh wow, they're more likely to listen to you and do business with you, right? So it's not just like, it's not just like results. I've got my clients results, and so and I make money doing this. So yeah, if you want to chat with me later, you could schedule a call or DM me on Instagram. I'm on ray.on. But yeah, like as far as results, you could just kind of check my links, which is in my bio. Some of the publications I've been featured on and things like that. And so Gore has a question. So do you have a question, Gore? What's your
Yeah, I
question?
had two questions. In terms of finding viral content to repost, like by the time you find it and repost it, it seems like the virality has gone down and everyone's seen it.
Sure. Yes. So you're wondering if I repost viral content, like will it lower my chances of getting seen? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously, like wherever you saw that content go viral, it's already like in the algorithm and it's getting a lot of views. If you post it just starting off, it might not get as much traction. That's why you need to boost it with engagement groups. And we actually have a service where we could boost any one of your posts onto the explore page because that's just how big of a network we have to be able to do that. So I'll give you guys an example. So this is some things that this one. Let me stop this. So I'm going to share my screen again, but I'm going to show you an example of something that we boosted, and they, usually they would get, we boosted a reel, right? And so we boosted a reel for them, and let me share my screen again. Let me see how to go. Share screen, yeah.
You have an account that you use to boost someone else's post?
Yeah, so we boosted this post for, luxury traveler friend of mine who has like 3 mil on Instagram. And they got like 300,000 views where normally on their reel they wouldn't get that many views, And so yeah, man, he works with luxury, like he made a living off Instagram. He's someone that I can have come in and coach, in my program as well. So I'm connected to like a lot of these big influencers. So if you guys are like, man, I want to learn from these guys, and yeah, I could have them come on and teach too. Yeah, and so yeah, that's kind of some of the things that we do for people. And yeah, I guess Gore, you said Armenia, right? So
Yeah.
kind of do you want to share your page again, like your page?
It's gore.xcii.
Gore dot X, yeah, okay, this one. Cool. So I'm gonna check out the page right now, and then we'll go and see. Um, so this one, progress is perfection. I like that. Cool, man. And so like you posted things, so I'm sure you've seen things on Armenia that have went viral. Those are the kinds of posts that you could post onto your wall as well. Um, Obviously, because you're at around 200 followers, it's not gonna get as much reach, but if you're wanting to, for example, you could go to like a big page about, I know there's what is it called? There's a page called Armenia. What you could do technically, if you have like a cause you want to raise awareness for, you could DM them and be like, hey, I have something I want to promote. They're already promoting, to help Armenia. But if you have something, like I said, you could buy shout outs from accounts. So you could reach out to these accounts that are like based around Armenia and be like, hey, can you, like, how much is it for me to get featured on your page? And they'll give you a price. And then you could say, hey, okay, can you post this and a link to my website or to what I'm trying to promote? And I'm sure that they're gonna, this is how these theme pages make money, right? This tattoo page that I'm running, this is a big tattoo page, which is funny. I don't have any tattoos, but I'm running this for fun for a friend. But like this one, I'm making money from selling shout outs and things like that. And so, these are some things that you could do, pay these theme pages. And then like Gil too, he makes money from shout outs, but then later he made his own company. Now he has people taking pictures and content for him for these luxury hotels and villas. And that's how he's making, a lot more money than just, a couple $100 for a shout out.
Mhm.
So so yeah, that's hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, the link is still here. I'm still gonna take questions for, let's see, yeah, as long as you guys have actually. And then for those of you guys who stay till the end, like I said, you could sign up for my emails here. This is my email for my emails. I'm gonna share content on Instagram again where you guys can just hop on and learn, just because people want to learn as well. And then this is my link to schedule one-on-one call with me. If you guys just want to chat individually and have something you want to ask me about. And this is my personal, if you haven't followed it yet. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna be doing more of these webinars, and okay, see you, Mike. But basically I want, I'm gonna, like, the coaching is for those who are like, hey, I'm committed to growth, and but then the weekly calls is just kind of Q&A, things like that. It's not so structured. It's not a structured program. It's just kind of like Q&A like right now. But I obviously can't help you as much, and work with you unless if there's, unless if we work together, right? I could give you all this knowledge now, and like how much of it are you really going to implement unless you're being coached, right? And so that's why I have that program, because I know a lot of people just learn a lot and they don't apply it, and that's why it's useless. Then it's like you wasted an hour of your time today if you're not going to apply anything you learned, right? And so reach out to me or fill out the application, and I'll take a couple more questions. But yeah, that's the main reason to why you need a coach. Like I didn't have a coach. I actually learned all of this on my own, like I said, over the years, which is why Ty's team wanted me to come teach. But now I'm like wanting to help other people learn how to use social media for their business or to make an impact. And so if you guys have any other questions, just type it in. I'll be on here for a little more, or just unmute yourself. Or John, hopefully John, you learned something. John, Caden, and Groovy Jew. I think Elise, and Porsche. If you guys want to ask questions, so you guys said, or Rob, I know you guys mentioned you have like an agency. Basically, what I do is like an agency too. So if you guys want to collaborate, I talked to an agency owner today, and they're having a lot of trouble growing their clients because the automation mass planner isn't working. And so I'm like, yeah, now you need a network of accounts to grow you. You can't just rely on automation, but there are still ways to use automation to grow your account. Um, but you need to work with the algorithm, which I have access to. So if you guys are, and then I think one of someone's a mental health wellness coach. Um, yeah, from Z. So you definitely need to get more targeted people. Need to work on the content, revamp that. So if you want to talk to me, just schedule a call in the chat. So I have a question. When you mention you make money, you can unmute yourself too, because it's like, but later on, did you grow and establish your, did you grow, what do you mean by that, Pin? You could unmute yourself.
Okay, sorry. What I meant to ask was I was having a typo error. When you said that you now make money doing shout outs, did you have to establish your following before you offer that service to people?
Yeah. Because people, if you have like 2,000 followers, like why should I buy from you?
Right.
So yeah, you do need like a following before you sell shout outs, because why else would they buy from you, right? Unless you have like an established, it's like, think of it like a magazine, right? Like a magazine catalog, you could pay for ads on that, right? And it's like same thing for Instagram. It's like a magazine catalog around a certain niche, and you're just paying ads to get space on that magazine catalog, which is an Instagram account. And based on how many followers, you could charge accordingly to that.
So do you know, like, for most people on average, what do they charge for shout outs?
So like it depends like on the niche, it depends on the size, it depends on like 100,000 page, maybe like a beauty, fashion, hair salon thing, like maybe like under $50 for like just a shout out. But then you got to think about like what kind of content would get people to follow me, right? And so that's another thing you got to think about. And so that's another thing you have to take into consideration.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, I mean, if you want to, you could chat about it too later. But Pan's actually already in the program, so she'll be learning a lot of this too. But this is yeah. I mean, all those I'll answer. But anything else you guys have questions on?
I do have a question about the bio. Um, you mentioned something about like using emojis and things like that. Is that something that you think is effective, or is that something that you just recommend people doing for their bio?
So I mean, it's just something that's like more visual and aesthetic, that's like eye catching. So that's why I recommend it. And it's just Instagram's very visual, right? And so for every one of you guys who are on here, even if you didn't fill out this application link, I want you to schedule at least a call with me, because there's a reason why you're on this call, right? If you're just here to, I mean, or unless it was just like, I just want to see what it's about. But if you guys can schedule a free call, like I said, on my Calendly, and we could chat if you have more questions, And so there shouldn't be a reason why you're not booking this, because I'm not charging for that, and I'm giving you pretty much like advice, what I would do if I was using your Instagram. So definitely take advantage of that if if you really want to learn more and ask questions. But other than that, any other questions, anything? Let me ask, what did you guys think was like valuable? Like, what did you learn? And also maybe what were some things that you thought you wanted to learn more about? Just want to ask you guys. And just unmute yourself. Good.
Hello. I think it was great getting to see this. I work with Z, and so this whole idea of social media as a therapist is definitely outside of my realm and what my industry does. So just understanding the back work of it, I think is really great. So that was really helpful.
Okay.
My question is, I mean, I know for Z, she does it mainly for coaching. I'm a clinical therapist, and so do you think that my industry, is it worth putting in that much work or investment for online, like for Instagram and being online?
You're saying is it worth the investment for what you're doing?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because honestly, like, um, like if you're not, like I said, like 10K gives you swipes. It's like social media is how people are finding out and you're getting clients right from what you post. So I would say, yeah, it isn't a good investment because it's not going to grow smaller. Social media is going to grow bigger, and more and more people are spending like more and more money just going to go into social media. And so if you're not learning it now, um you're either going to get left behind or you're just going to be lost, even a couple years later, and then it's going to be even more crazy, it's going to be even more advanced. And so it's like if you're not learning it now, you're already going to be behind, because people are already getting onto this platform and learning it. So yeah, I definitely say this is an investment that is going to, yeah, pay dividends because you're learning the strategies now and the tools, and it's like you're going to get ahead of your competition. Whereas a lot of people or they're going to go and learn first before you are. And so yeah, it works for every industry. Mental health coaches. If are you a coach? You're an online coach?
So I will be transitioning into coaching.
Sure. Yeah, then I would definitely recommend, yeah, to um at least apply and see if you be a good fit, and we'll see if it's if it's good. But yeah, it'd definitely be it's a good investment. Like I said, it's like you're not just learning something that I learned from YouTube. Like I learned this by doing it and by
Mm-hmm.
helping people get results. And yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And yeah, anything else maybe you guys want to learn on or something? I guess maybe ask you guys like what's something that you're gonna take away from this and do. What are you gonna and then at least you said automation. Like I said, automation is banned, but if you have someone manually doing it, then that works, and we have a team that could do that. And so yeah, man, I think what was I gonna say? Like hopefully you guys have something you take away from this. I don't and I'm sure you guys learned a lot. If you want to learn more, sign up for my emails. Like I said, it's in the chat. I'll be doing more calls, and then you could sign up for a one-on-one call with me. But yeah, it's only gonna grow bigger. Social media is only gonna grow bigger. It's not going away anytime soon, that's for sure. And so if you're not learning it now, then you're gonna be super. If you're lost now, imagine like 1 year from now how much more lost you're gonna be. And so definitely good to learn now. And if you sign up for my emails, like I said, I'll still give you like that infographic and teach on this too. So yeah.
Hey Ray, this is kind of off topic, but if you have a smaller following and I mean, aside from thinking about your vision and your content and everything, what is the best approach on like engaging with the people that is following you?
Yeah, I would say like going live is a great way. So if you go live, then that's a great way to interact with your followers, or going live with other people. Um, Getting people to engage with you, like create DM groups. You could create like a group of like people who are like super engaged with you, or like people who are your like loyal fans, right? You could create like a private group and then be, hey, I posted, like comment or something like that, and and just like as far as increasing engagement, we have tools to like help you increase that engagement too, to get more reach. So yeah, that's something we could chat about. But yeah, just I want to say um generally just that's yeah, I think hashtags, that hashtag strategy, have you used that yet or no?
Yeah, I have been practicing a little bit of it and
Okay.
testing it out too. Yeah.
And geotagging, that works. Um Geotagging. There's also other tools that we could go into detail. I
Can
could actually
you share again what is geotagging?
so that's like when you post like on your locations, you could say, you know,
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So that
Got it.
and
Yeah.
that shows up to people in your area. And so yeah, just if anything, every one of you guys should be signed up, for the emails, because if you're trying to learn more or one-on-one call, or if you're just here just to learn, cool. But yeah, like I said, keep learning, sign up for my emails. I'll keep doing the classes, um but yeah, the coaching is more for those who are like, I want to take this seriously, I want to use this for my business, I want to make an impact. That's for those people. So cool. Porsche signed up, Gore, hopefully you could sign up for emails. Pam, John, I think John, you're getting my emails. At least you could sign up for my emails. I don't know if you have yet. Kaden,
I have one quick question.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah,
Um, for when you talk about reposting like viral content,
yeah.
if the viral contents are non-related to the flow of your posts, do you still recommend that to be shared on your Instagram, or like if it's non-related to what your content is? Like,
Yeah, I
would
get
you
what you
still
mean.
recommend us to still share the viral video?
Yeah, so that's why I say, like, what's the vision, right? Is your vision, I know I talked to you, man, like your vision is not just for hair salon, it's like to inspire people, motivate people. So if you post around that, that's cool, but like you gotta mix it in, right? Like at the right time. So I mean, obviously, if you have like a set pattern, like 3-column strategy pattern, like you could break up the flow, but you could always archive it. So I would just say play around with it. Try it, see if it does well. If not, you could just remove it. But
Sure.
it's just
Okay.
like, it's just as long as it's around that theme of like what you're trying to do, which is motivate, inspire people, but like also teaching people hair salon tips, right? Things like that. That's
Right.
what I would recommend for sure.
Okay.
And yeah, and yeah, I mean, the coaching will be a lot more like, better in mid-November when we start, but just trying to get the right people in for now. So yeah,
Yeah, that
and
makes sense.
and just play around with it first, like kind of implement some of the things you learned and see what can happen from there. So yeah,
Sounds good. Appreciate it.
yeah, for sure. So yeah, if that's it, just want to thank you guys for hopping on. I'll be doing my class on this Wednesday as well. And did you go? Yeah, and then if anything, you guys can schedule one-on-one call or things like that with me. So cool. Thank you guys for hopping on, and we'll see you soon. Oh, yeah, also, I want to if you guys can please subscribe. This is my podcast. Actually, this is actually my real passion, like podcasting, and this is why I started. Not why I started my Instagram, but like to kind of promote my podcast. Not so if you guys can just quickly just follow it, or it's on Anchor, and it's free to follow, obviously, and you'll kind of learn stories and strategies of social media too. So if you guys can support me that way, that'd be awesome. um and so yeah, man, yeah, just thank you guys for hopping on, and yeah, we'll see you guys later.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay. Well,